Welcome to my Stories Red channel. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Also, please like and share your comments. We make new videos with interesting stories every day.
I want to share my happiness with you. I landed my dream job and apartment and I can finally leave my cheating husband. Husband 39 and I 35 met 10 years ago. He was up until last year the love of my life. He was my rock and I his. We shared the same interests, humor and views. We also were child-free. I owned a little sandwich shop that was fairly popular near huge office buildings. I loved my job and I was so content. I made good living. My husband is an engineer. When pandemic hit and people started working from home, my business went down pretty quickly and by the fall of 2020 I had to close for good. I still did some catering gigs, but not near enough to have a decent source of income. My husband said that I shouldn't be worried because he could support both of us. I went back to college, HR management, a 3 years program. Around the same time as all that happened, my husband confessed to me that he might have changed his mind about being child-free, something that I had noticed before he confessed. I loved my husband very much and I had started noticing him around friends and family members who have small children. He was so adorable, and to be honest, without my very hectic job I also started thinking the same. We had our son November last year. The best thing that ever happened to me, but just 3 weeks after I gave birth my husband came to me and confessed that he cheated on me. It felt like the ground opened from under me. How could that be possible? He was my love and I was his, wasn't I? He apologized and tried to blame it on the pandemic, on being bored at home, on being scared to be a father, on midlife crisis. He loved me and he didn't want to lose me. I felt so trapped with a small baby that needed me, no job and no place to go. Good job, hubby, you sure knew when to deliver this blow. A week later he asked me what I thought about opening the marriage. Humans aren't meant to stay monogamous, and while he still loved me more than anything in the world, he didn't find me enough. I started crying and begged him not to humiliate me. If he just gave me some time, we could divorce and go our separate ways. He said he wasn't interested in divorce. He didn't want to replace me. Just add some new excitement into our relationship. 2 weeks later he came home with her and told me that she's moving in with us. A 26 years old that he met at work. He started showing her the apartment and explained how important it was for me to have everything clean and tidy all the time and that she should abide by that. She was smiling the whole time. He took her to the guest bedroom. She's been living with us ever since. I moved to my son's room and put locks on, and I've been living with my baby for almost a year now. Rarely existing in the common areas beside preparing for my catering gigs. The GF moved eventually into my bedroom with my husband. He warned me that this would happen if I refused to move back. Funny how we can adjust so fast and find small pleasures even in the most difficult times. Having my baby and seeing him grow has been my biggest comfort, him and my studies. After a few months my husband gave up trying to talk to me outside of matters concerning our son. He finally realized neither fighting, tantrums nor love bombing worked on me, and most importantly he stopped trying to get intimate with me. Beside the occasional I love you or I miss you text, sometimes a sext, while he's literally on the other side of the wall. His GF kept her distance from me and I was thankful for that. She moved out a few times after they would fight. I don't know the details, but I would guess that she wanted exclusivity. Oh, the irony. She always showed up again after a couple of days. I acted like I didn't notice any of it. I have 1 year left of my studies, but after my internship, practicing semester, at a big firm, my boss offered me a paid internship. It's a full-time job starting in January. It would mean work and study full-time, but I know that I will manage. I'm just so happy. This means that I now have the means to find my own place, and I did. A small studio, 32M superscript 2. I'm moving November 1st. I will have to break the news eventually to my husband that I'm moving out and filing for divorce. I don't want to tell him right now, but once I start packing he will probably understand anyway. I don't know what his reaction would be. Ideally, he would be relieved, but somehow I doubt it. Right now he thinks I'm bound to him for at least another year because of my studies, and he's still acting like I'm his wife. I have been so lucky this far, and hopefully my moving out and divorce won't be any different. I haven't been this happy in many months, and I wanted to share it somewhere since nobody in my surrounding knows what I have gone through. Update, November 3rd, 22, I got my apartment. I move out and left my husband and his girlfriend. I'm free. Gosh. I don't even know where to start. Maybe thank you for supporting me on my last post. Beside the few worthless "why don't you just leave" comments, I just wanted to vent and share my story, but many of you have requested an update after I have moved. I got the keys to my little apartment 2 weeks ago because the previous tenant moved out earlier. I was grateful because I wanted to paint the room and do some makeover. I talked to the landlady and ended up telling her my whole story. LOL. She promised me he next 2-bedroom that becomes available. When I got the keys, I felt that I could finally breathe. I'm not on good terms with my family, but I ended up telling them what's been going on in my life this past year, and my friends too. I don't know why I kept this a secret for so long. Maybe because I was too ashamed or embarrassed, or maybe because I had a definite plan and I didn't want outside influence or distraction. I didn't want my best friend to feel obligated to host me. I didn't want my sister to ask if I could forgive him, or my in-laws to try and change his mind. So the best thing I knew was to keep quiet and act like everything was normal. I moved last Friday. I had packed all my kitchen gear and my sons and my clothes, toys, etc. while my husband was at work. My best friend and her husband helped me. I didn't take any of the furniture because I thought it could wait until we divorced, and I requested division of property. I have no room for anything in my little apartment anyway. When my husband came home, I told him that I was leaving. He was confused at first, but I told him about my new apartment, so he asked me how I was going to afford it. His facial expression changed and he looked scared. He started telling me how he has been regretting all of what he did. He loved and missed me. He knew that he messed up and has been thinking that this wasn't what he wanted. He wanted his family back. Our son and me. He asked me if I wanted my baby not to have his parents together. Then he said that he was leaving his girlfriend and she would be moving out and it could be the two of us again. His girlfriend started fighting with him and I just left. He has now been calling me asking to see us. I still want a decent co-parenting relationship with him, so he took our son on Sunday to his parents to spend time with him. This is the first time I'm without my son a whole day. I cried the entire time. I need to get used to this. My in-laws apologized for what my husband did. I think they think this is going to pass and we will be back together. I think everybody think that beside my best friend. I won't try to convince them. Let time tell them instead. My feelings are letting me down now. After all he did, I still love him with all my heart and I miss him, his kisses, his eyes, the way he looks at and touches me. How weird is that? I don't know if this is good or bad. I don't know if these feelings will disappear and what they will be replaced with. Hate? Is harboring hate for a man I'm bound to for at least 17 more years something good? Maybe I should use my love for him to create a better co-parenting relationship. Maybe I should not stop loving him, just find a new meaning for this love. Our son is so much like him, especially his smile. It makes it even harder not to think about or miss him. This past year I have not had time to reflect over my feelings. I've done a great job being matter-of-fact, and suppressed my feelings, but now I'm on my own in my own apartment. I can finally cry and mourn the love that we lost. And the weirdest thing is that I really believe that he still loves me too. In his own weird way. I don't think he ever stopped loving me. I have watched him with his girlfriend for a year now. It's never like how he was with me when we were happy. The only times I could see his old loving self was when he looked at our son or at me when he thought I couldn't see him. When I think of this, I cry even more because what a waste of a beautiful relationship, and for what? My son's birthday is in a few days. I feel so guilty, but I will not be celebrating it with my husband. My son is still too young to remember, so I won't be hurting him. Hopefully when he is older, my husband and I are on better terms so we can celebrate him together, but for now I'm doing a party with my family and friends, and my husband can do a party for him if he wanted. I just wanted to say something before I leave. Last time many accused me of being too dependent, letting my husband taking care of me and our son. I thought this is how life/love/partnership was supposed to be. I had a very respectable business and I loved my job. I was happy and content. I had a loving and supportive husband. We bought our beautiful place and renovated it from scratch with our, both, hard-earned money. I never foresaw the pandemic and how my business would suffer, how my life would be turned upside down, and when it did, I thought I could rely on my husband because that's what people supposed to do. If the roles were reversed, I would gladly have supported him until he got on his feet again. Because in the long run the whole family would reap the benefits. So no, I wasn't dependent, I thought I had a good safety net. If you still don't understand that people no matter where they are in life could fall and need to start over, expecting their loved ones to support them or at least not take advantage of them. If you still don't understand that this doesn't mean that they're weak, then there's nothing more I could say to explain myself, so I'll leave it at that.